Hi, I wanted to do something different to kind of share with you how I go about doing some of my cards. So what I thought I would do is I would take the challenge that we have in our coloring down the lines this week and show you how I go about doing the card. The first thing that we have are our colors, and this week we have to use Rose Red, Bermuda Bay, Soft Sky, Sahara Sand, Pink Pirouette, and Hello Honey. Now, those are the colors that show up in that picture. That doesn't mean I have to use all of those colors, but I try to incorporate at least 2 or 3 just to give you an idea. And then I hope this isn't too hard to see, but once I get my colors, I start looking through my challenge blogs, and in this case, I found this sketch that really was of interest to me. And it's got one color here. This is a patterned background. This is a circle element. Excuse me. There's a scallop element here, a flag element here, a small circle here, and some leaves there. So I'm going to show you how I go about doing this sketch. All right, so my original thought was, let me take, and I chose Hello Honey because that was the one of the colors I was going to use, and the dots for days. This one is retiring. I just love my dots, my stripes, my bling. So I was going to use that as my background and stamp it in the same color so it would be a tone on tone. But then I thought, okay, I've got to use, I wanted to address those 2 strips. There's 2 strips down the side here. One here and one right next to it. And so I chose my Bermuda Bay and my Soft Sky as my strips. But when I put that on my Hello Honey, I didn't like it. So I nixed the Hello Honey and I pulled out my white. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm still going to use my dots on the background and my Hello Honey, but I will ink it up and off stamp it so I get a second generation. So it's there, but it's subtle. I've inked up my stamp, and I said I was going to do a second generation stamping. That's where you stamp off. All right. And then what I'm going to take and do, and I may not like this, I may change my mind altogether, is I'm going to, and I will tell you it's easier if you do it this way and press. And I'm not being particular about making sure the whole thing is covered, because if there's spots that's not, it kind of adds to it. So there is my stamped piece, my background piece, and I need to add my 2 strips of cardstock, and I'll be back with the rest. All right, I have my background and my 2 strips added. So now I'm ready to address this piece here. And my thoughts were, since I wasn't using the Hello Honey as a base, to do this white circle here, just because they're the color that they have in there doesn't mean you have to use those colors. To use this white circle and make that my Hello Honey. I'm going to also use the bird punch and this leaf and punch it from Sahara Sand. My circle here, I'm going to make a flower, and I'm going to use the pansy punch and use the rose red, and then the petite petals punch with pink pirouette. I still have to address these 2, but I want to get some of this put together and show you. I want to show you a little trick. I pulled out some scraps of paper to punch out my leaf from the Bird Builder punch. You can cut these into 1-inch strips and do it also, but since this is, it's not quite 2 inches, it's a real pain to just cut it down for that little bit. So what I take and do is I put it in like so, and then I punch it. Okay. I then turn it around, and I can finagle punching another one from the top. So that gives me 2. And since some of this will be behind, I can even, if I play with it enough, get a third one out of it, maybe. Okay. All right, not going to work from that end. Let's see if I can get it out of this end down here. I might not be able to. Sometimes I can play with it. I can get 3 out. You just have to remember. There we go. There's a third one. It's a small one, but if you look, you're going to need some smaller ones there. So that gives me 3 from that one. And those are all scraps. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Make sure your pieces are all out. I've got some one in there. Get it out or it won't punch correctly. All right, so I'm going to put this in and punch it. Turn it around. And you know what? I'm going to try something different. I'm going to punch here. I'm going to move it down to where I can get the whole thing there. And now I'm going to take and turn it this way and punch the other. Just make sure you get all your tips and all in there and punch that one. So then I got a third one. So I got 6 sprays, leaf sprays from that one, those 2 pieces of cardstock. I used my 2 1/2 inch circle and I punched out the circle from Hello Honey. That's going to go there. I punched my pansy and my petite pansy and I put it on dimensionals, both the little one and the big one, and I put a rhinestone in the center, so that's ready to go. I'm not gluing anything down because I've still got these 2 pieces to address. And now I've got all of these that I can take and play with and determine what I want them to look like. And because some are long and some are short, I should be okay. I'm going to come up with an idea for both of these so that I can put that on my card. All right, I wasn't certain what colors to use for the banner and the scallop edge. I tried a couple, I didn't like it, and then I thought, you know, there's so little of that, let's mimic that. So I chose those 2 colors to do my banner and my scallop edge. Now my scallop edge uses a retired punch. There's nothing I can do. We don't have any edge punches, but I love edge punches, so that's what I did. I cut my thanks to about a 1/2 inch, and then I don't know if you have this little banner punch. I don't remember if it's retiring or not, but if you don't have it, you need to get it because it makes a great end, flagged end. And all you do is stick your paper in the bottom, line it up in the middle, and punch. And that's what comes out. So it's great for punching small pieces. This one works up to, I think it's like, let me see, 1/2 inch. Yeah, it says it's 5/8, but I know you can do a 1/2 inch easy. Maybe 5/8, you'd have to try it and see because you have to put it in and turn it. And then we go to the 1 inch with the banner punch, the triple banner punch. But I love this one for that very reason and use it a lot. I'm going to put my card together and show you the finished product. Okay, I'm back with the finished card. I put my pieces together, and as you can see, I did my sprays behind here. There's my circle feature, which is a flower, and these 2 pieces. I've incorporated all the colors that I was supposed to. Then to finish off the inside, I stamped the Flower Shop flower and the Petite Petals flowers in the corner. Now I wanted to show you, this is what happens when your block's not attached correctly. I went to stamp it, and guess what? It fell off my block. So sometimes if your block is, if the back of your stamp is not perfectly flat, if it's got a little cup in it, you won't get a good seal. What I have found that works is to take some of this Tombow liquid glue the multi-purpose glue, put it on the back of the stamp, spread it around, let it dry. It then becomes a good seal, but you can take it on and off. Eventually, taking it on and off, the back of the stamp gets dirty and it won't cling very well. So just take your finger, rub off the glue, wash it down real good, and then apply a new layer for the next time you use it. I hope you enjoyed my card today.